What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dorm Debate. My name is Jared. I'm filling in for Caleb as the host right now because he doesn't want to hang out with us on a Thursday night. He'd rather do better things. No, I'm just kidding. He had a obligation he had to go to. We miss you, Caleb. All right, on this week's Dorm Debate, we're going to be talking about the three upsets that happened in the NFL, a QB change that could be happening to the Giants, and also we're going to look at the playoff picture as we are past the halfway mark of the season. We're going to see who's real and who is fake in the league. First off, Jonathan wants to say a couple words. Jonathan, take it away.
Last week, John and Jared both said that the Cowboys would lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. And boy, were they wrong. The Cowboys had a strong 28-17 win. The Chiefs had their worst loss of the season. Last week, John picked Kareem Hunt to be the Rookie of the Year so far. Kareem Hunt was limited to 37 yards. Alex Smith threw his first interception of the season. Needless to say, the Cowboys proved these two individuals wrong. So, even though Zeke is suspended, I believe we're in for a good running because we have three good running backs, Alfred Morris, Darren McFadden, and Rod Smith, who will rotate in as running back. And our defense has gotten better as the season has progressed. So, again, needless to say, teams better watch out because the boys are coming. Thank you.
Well, just to propose something. So for the halfway point, you said that your midseason MVP was Alex Smith. So you were wrong too. He threw his first interception.
Yeah, I did agree with you. Agree with you.
What do you have to say about that? You were wrong.
He threw his first interception. I mean, he was still the first midseason MVP.
Okay, Kareem Hunt, he still threw midseason.
That's different.
That was halfway.
That's different.
So
Alex Smith.
The Cowboys started the second half of their season, or the Chiefs started the second half of their season against the Cowboys. So now his second half might not be as good, but for the first 8 games, which the Cowboys was week 9, Kareem Hunt is the.
Alex Smith, even though he threw one interception, he still had a pretty good game. As far as Kareem Hunt, 9 carries for 37 yards. You should have seen him. He looked miserable out there. The Cowboys defense basically stopped him the whole game.
Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some of the upsets that happened this week. That's the big talk. Washington beating Seattle, Cowboys beating the Chiefs, Jets beating the Bills. Now, I actually called the Jets beating the Bills, and I went 2-0 in the lock and upset for the first time. I'm the first person to go undefeated. What I said would happen happened. Let me talk about Richie Incognito. After the game, he basically took the words right out of my mouth from the podcast. He basically said that these Thursday games are unfair to the players. To have a 4-day week for football to rest and to practice is just unfair. It's not enough time to prepare. To actually read his quote, they said they were throwing a wrench in our schedule. It's absolutely ridiculous that we would have to do this. As physical as this game is, as much work and preparation this goes into, to force us to play on a 4-day week is completely unfair. He also swore in that, but I didn't want to say it. So I said that exactly, that Thursday night games, it just totally throws everything off to an NFL team. And not to give anything away from the Jets, because the Jets had the same time to prepare, and they were totally dominant in that game. They looked like they wanted the game. Bills didn't even look like they wanted it. They had 3 fumbles, 3 turnovers, one with Nick O'Leary where he caught the pass and fell down without being touched, and he just laid there. He didn't get up and try to run it, and then when he realized he had to run it, he got up, and then he fumbles it. I mean, they weren't focused at all. So I'm not saying, like I said before, the Jets beat the Bills, but the Bills will still I don't think this is going to affect them at all because this week, now that they have a Thursday night game, they've had about a week and a half almost to prepare for their next game. And they also add Calvin Benjamin, who they didn't have for Thursday night's game, which is really going to spark their offense. But yeah, I just want to say that I called the Jets on Thursday night.
Well, let me just butt in real quick. Jared, I agree with everything you're saying, but it doesn't matter whether they play Thursday or Sunday. They're just like 2 days apart. You telling me one team can win over another just because one plays on Thursday and the other one plays on Sunday, so they have a week and a half to play?
Yeah, I mean, for an away team, I know Buffalo didn't have to go far, but you're talking about preparing for Sunday. Now you're preparing for Thursday. Yeah. Now you play Sunday. You probably have a rest day on Monday, maybe a travel day if you were away. Traveling back Monday, probably not doing anything. Then Tuesday, you're probably doing practice. But now on Wednesday, you can't go hard in practice because you have a game tomorrow. It shrinks your preparation schedule, and that's why it just throws your whole mentality and your preparation off.
Well, that may be true with like maybe high school or college, but with these NFL professionals, those few
obviously
days don't
not.
matter.
Richie Incognito said it himself, and multiple players have come out, even Richard Sherman, and said that they all hate these Thursday night games. It's just not enough time to prepare with how physical this game is and the amount of time you need to recover.
Well, don't they get a week and a half off after they're done with the Thursday night game?
Right. That's the argument is like, yeah, you play on Thursday night, but now you have more than enough time to prepare for your next game. But what I'm saying is that Thursday night game is always up in the air because players are either tired, they're not
tired. Why would they be tired? They have a few days to recover. You only need like 24 hours to recover.
There's not enough preparation though to prepare for the team. I mean, I said
in NFL, you don't know what the teams are gonna do. Like 60% of the time, you don't know what the teams are gonna do. It's just in the moment you adjust. So
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but multiple players have come out and said that these Thursday night games are unfair. We're gonna go to the situation in the New York Giants. What is their record? They have 1 win.
1-7.
They're 1-7. They got blown out by the Rams recently. The players are quitting on Ben McAdoo, and I just don't see McAdoo lasting the whole season. But our question is, what do you do with Eli going into next season? He's got 2 more years on his contract. You have probably top 5 pick in this year's draft. A lot of good quarterbacks are coming in. You also have a lot of quarterback free agents. What do you do with Eli next season? John, do you want to start this out since you're a Giants fan?
Sure. So everybody's been talking about benching Eli, maybe see what we have in Davis Webb. But as you said, last week against the Rams, a lot of the defensive players and just players in general are just quitting on the coach. So it will be interesting to see who lasts longer this season, Eli starting or McAdoo, see if he gets tossed. I know management for the Giants said that they won't make any coaching changes or release McAdoo until the season's over. And I heard for now Eli is going to be the starter, but you never know. Maybe they'll see what they have in Davis Webb. I personally think that Eli should stay the starter. He's earned it. He has 2 Super Bowls, and I mean, you could see what you have in Davis Webb, but really, like, you could see it in practice. You know what you're going to get from him. So, and I've heard rumors of the Giants looking at Sam Darnold and some of the top college quarterbacks that are going to enter the draft. So, if I was the Giants, I would go, if we get a top 5 pick, right now we're sitting at number 3, I would be happy with getting a quarterback because Manning's obviously going to start next year. So we could bring the rookie quarterback in, teach him about the system, and Brandon Marshall has 1 more year next year. And then we could get a running back and O-line after that because everybody knows that the Giants need O-line and obviously a running game or else Eli's going to burn his arm out.
do you think you should prepare now for what's inevitable, which is Eli either expiring his contract or retiring?
Yeah, I think since everybody's talking about this year's quarterback draft being really good, I think it is time to prepare for the future. Maybe Eli can maybe last 2 more years, so you do have to start to plan for the future, especially if you think that the QB class isn't going to get any better.
I think if I was Ben McAdoo, I would get rid of Eli Manning after the season because my job's on the line. Even though, after the season he may get fired, if I was Ben McAdoo, I would beg to the Giants staff, Giants management, please give me another quarterback, for next year, because I think Eli Manning is done. He's had a pretty good career, 2 Super Bowls, but his overall quarterback rating was 88.4, not bad. As far as Eli Manning, I think he's done. And Ben McAdoo, if I was him, I would beg for another quarterback, from the Giants management, because this is getting bad. Too much turnovers, too much interceptions. I think he should go.
But say you're the Giants, and next year you could go for a Super Bowl. You have a possibility of doing that.
If you keep Eli Manning, you're not going to a Super Bowl.
But he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, but he's old. He's like 36, and he's throwing too much interceptions.
How old's Brady?
Brady's throwing touchdowns and hardly any interceptions.
Yeah, but
you can't compare the two.
How old was Peyton, his brother, when he won a Super Bowl?
Peyton Manning is on a different level. Peyton Manning is not the same as Eli Manning. I'm sorry to tell you folks.
But when you have a quarterback who's won 2 Super Bowls and
he won 2 Super Bowls, guys. That was in his prime.
How he plays in the playoffs?
What about? I didn't see him in the playoffs last year or the year before that.
They made the playoffs.
How do you play? They lost. I probably can recall.
They lost to the same team you lost.
But they lost worse.
No, they didn't.
Guys, the end point is Eli Manning's not gonna do good. If he stays on the Giants. Okay. If I was Ben McAdoo, in order to save my job, I'd beg for another quarterback.
Your decision.
So first things first is fire the coach. Then you draft Saquon Barkley. Giants need a running back. They don't have that running back that they can rely on running-wise, and they don't have the threat receiving-wise for a running back who can really just roll out and drop it off for Eli. So you draft them first, and then you get maybe some linemen in free agency or draft a bunch of linemen. Maybe use the rest of your picks to get offensive linemen because that's a necessity for the Giants. And this is just I don't know if this will ever happen, but this would be like an ideal situation for the Giants is you pick up a free agent in Kirk Cousins next offseason. Kirk Cousins right now is with the Redskins. He's doing really good. He's got 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a, I would say, below average receiving core. He's doing very well. Wins and losses wise, he's doing okay, but that's also due to the fact that they don't have any rushing game, below average receivers. But with the talent that he's got, he's making the most out of it. He's got 67.9 completion percentage. One thing that sticks out to me is 102 QBR rating. That's very good for a team that's 500 or below 500 right now. So you bring in Kirk Cousins to the Giants, and now you have a player that could possibly be going into his prime with weapons like Brandon Marshall, Odell Beckham.
So what do you do with Eli Manning?
All right, so let's get to that. So for me, I would trade Eli Manning. There's a lot of teams right now that are in need of quarterbacks that might not want to rebuild with a rookie right now. They want to get maybe a veteran that could possibly get them to the playoffs if the Super Bowl. One team's the Broncos. They did this with Peyton Manning. They knew it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. They knew they had 2 or 3 years to win him a Super Bowl. And Peyton came in, and he went back-to-back Super Bowls and then ended up winning one of them. So the Broncos have Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, and Brock Osweiler, 3 quarterbacks. Paxton Lynch is injured, so you don't really know what you have there. But Siemian and Osweiler, they just don't look like NFL quarterbacks at the moment. But they have the number 1 defense in the league. So if you even have just an average offense, that defense can step up and win you some ball games. So if you trade Eli to the Broncos, I think they would accept a trade like that because they did it once before, and they also have a great defense right now, and they also have a good wide receiving core, Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. You just got to put a good quarterback that can really put it on the spot for him. So all that being said, you fire the coach, draft Saquon Barkley, a great running back, trade Eli maybe to the Broncos, and you pick up Kirk Cousins from free agency, someone who's going into his prime and is top 10 in QBR rating. He really doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. I think he would fit perfectly with the Giants.
So our last topic is we're going to look at the playoff picture, and we're going to list off the teams in the playoffs if the season ended right now in the AFC and NFC, and we're going to talk about if they're real or they're fake. Real meaning they're a great team that's going to make the playoffs. Fake meaning that they're on the decline or they're going to choke or they're not going to make the playoffs. So let's start with the AFC. The Steelers. You guys think they're real?
I believe they're real.
Yeah,
Steelers are a lock for me.
Yeah, we all agree that they're
Antonio
real.
Brown, Juju Smith, Le'Veon Bell. It's very hard to stop that team.
Yeah, they've been looking good lately. All right, second in the AFC, the Patriots at 6-2.
Of course, they're a lock. Yes.
Yeah, they're real.
They're definitely a lock for me. Buffalo Bills right on their tail, but I just don't think the Bills could jump the Pats. Historically, it just doesn't happen.
All right, so third in the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-3. Are they real or are they fake?
Well, even though they had a tough loss against the Cowboys, I still believe they're real. I still believe they'll end up making the playoffs.
Sure.
Yeah, so definitely, I agree with Jonathan. They did have a tough loss against the Cowboys, but they get a bye week this week. I think they were 6-1, lost 2 straight games, but they get a bye week and then they go to the Giants. So I see them making the playoffs for sure.
I actually see them dropping to the wild card spot.
You think somebody else is going to beat them out in that division?
I think Oakland Raiders are going to come out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, one of the reasons Derek Carr's finally getting into it now after his injury. They beat the Chiefs, and I think they play them again this season. They have to. Yep. So that could be another win for them. And they're only 2 games back. I mean, they're not even that far. We have so many games left. The Chiefs now declining. They had this great start, and now they're declining.
Well, they get a bye week, so they could turn it around.
They do get a bye week. And, yeah, I still think they'll make the playoffs at a wild card spot, but I think Oakland will come in and snatch the division for them. Chiefs... well, one of the reasons Chiefs were good, Kareem Hunt, that star player, came out, no one knew who he was, and just started tearing up the league, and now he's declining. Now you're looking for a run game now, and you don't have it.
He's not declining.
He just had one bad game because the Cowboys played really well.
But he's not playing as well as he did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
he's not putting up the numbers that he was before.
I mean, it was just 1 or 2 games that he didn't, but
yeah.
All right. Okay, so fourth in the AFC, the Titans at 5-3. They're tied at the top of their division with Jacksonville, but they have the edge. So they're right now they're winning their division. Do you guys see them? Do you think they're real?
Well, it's not because they're a good team, but their schedule is pretty easy, I believe. The only hard team they have left is the Steelers, and after that, I believe all those games they can easily win. So I believe they're real. So
you don't think that the Jaguars can push them for the division lead?
No, as long as they, win most of the games and continue to play as they're playing, I think they can easily beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Titans they're real. I think they're gonna win that division.
Once again, I think Jacksonville is gonna steal the division from them. Same record right now, so it's anybody's game. I just think Jacksonville's defense will carry this team through the season. And get them their wins. One thing about the Titans, I've never been a fan of Marcus Mariota. I just don't like him at all. I don't know why. I just feel like he's not an NFL quarterback, and I just don't believe in him going into the end of the season. especially if they did make the playoffs. I wouldn't even believe them in the playoffs. But right now, I don't think Marcus Mariota could lead them to a playoff spot.
Okay, so you think Marcus Mariota can't lead them to a playoff spot, but
No.
Blake Bortles can.
Not that.
Explain to me this.
Well, I said their defense would carry them.
A defense can only carry you so far. You need to put points on the board to win.
Exactly.
I know, but when you have all you need is average quarterback to get you those maybe 21, 28 points, because their defense is very, very good. It's up there with Denver Broncos right now for defense. I mean, you would agree.
Yeah. This season, the Jaguars' defense is playing really well. But, I mean, the Titans and Jaguars played earlier in the season in Jacksonville, and Tennessee won 37-16.
Wow.
So that was beginning of the season, though.
And?
So they weren't ready. They weren't prepped, as Jonathan would say.
All right, whatever you say, but I still think that the Titans are gonna win the division. Their schedule is a little bit easier than the Jaguars.
As Jonathan always says, defense wins championships, and they have one of the best defenses, if not top two in the league right now. And with an average offense, I think they could easily win the division right now. But the division's definitely up for grabs right now. It could go Titans, Jacksonville, either way. But I just think Jacksonville will finish out the season with a win.
Okay, so then the fifth spot in the AFC is the Jaguars. So Jared obviously thinks they're going to hold on. Do you think the Titans will move into the wild card if the Jaguars win that division?
Well, I have Chiefs bumping them to the wild card. So, no, I don't think Titans will make it to the playoffs.
Okay.
Because I have Kansas City there.
Okay, I still think the Jaguars will get one of the playoff spots. Jonathan, what do you think?
Yeah, I believe I agree too. I think both Jacksonville and Titans will both make the playoffs, but it's a matter of the seeding. But I think both of those teams have a good opportunity.
Okay, and then the sixth spot in the AFC, the last playoff spot right now, is the 5-3 Buffalo Bills. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think after that terrible loss against the Jets, they're going to start going downhill and they won't make the playoffs. It'll probably be the worst choke in history.
What? The worst choke.
They weren't even division leaders.
The Falcons were winning 28-3 at half in the third quarter
for a Super Bowl.
And this is going to be the worst choke. 5-3. They don't have much to choke.
It'll be one of the worst.
They haven't made the playoffs in years.
Wait,
did they think they're going to choke?
It'll be one of the worst chokes.
Wait, they lost like 4 straight Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah.
More than that.
That's a lot of choking.
Yeah, it'll be one of the worst chokes.
They might die this time.
It'll be
choke again.
It'll be one of the worst chokes for a regular season for a team.
What?
For a team.
5-3.
So they were like 5-1. Were they 5-2? What were they? 5-1. Yeah.
5-2.
They're gonna choke and be like have a losing record. They're gonna have a losing record, I believe.
Okay, I agree with Jonathan that they're not gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think it's gonna be that dramatic. They did lose a horrible game against the Jets, and you could just see in that game that when they get behind in a game, their offense isn't good enough to come back. Yeah, they get Kelvin Benjamin, and we don't know how he's going to fit in, but I see the Bills. I think they're fake. I think that the Oakland Raiders are going to start to come back, and I think they're going to get that wild card spot that the Bills aren't going to get.
Once again, I'm just the outlier here. I have the Bills in the last wild card spot. One of the reasons, I said this before, they add Kelvin Benjamin to a passing offense that's been awful.
You don't even know how he's going to fit. Like,
you don't know either.
Tyrod Taylor's not a great passer. Yeah. They got
Yeah,
Jordan Matthews.
Last game he passed for 285 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Whoa.
Without Benjamin.
Whoa.
Yeah.
285 yards.
That's 101 QBR rating.
Who was that against?
That was against the Jets.
Oh, okay. That was against the Jets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who beat them? They're good. They're a good team.
The
Well,
Jets
they don't have a good defense.
They're one game under 500. So, and they didn't even have Benjamin. You add Benjamin. Say he does great. Now team or defenses are going to shift towards covering Benjamin, and that who knows, they could open up some other receivers for phenomenal games, and that offense could spark quickly and be even better than they were in the first game in the first half of the season. Also, the Bills really what was I going to say? Write this down. 11:25. Also, the Bills have LaShawn McCoy at running back, and you have Tyrod Taylor who can run, which is a great X factor to have. And it really throws a wrench in the defense when you have a running quarterback. And you have a great running back in LaShawn McCoy. And now you had Calvin Benjamin. Now they have to respect the pass game now. I just think they could snag that last wild card spot. I don't really see anybody taking that. Maybe the Titans, but I think the Bills are better than the Titans at this point. And I'm on that Buffalo Bills bandwagon. They're going to the playoffs.
God help you.
Well, just to let you know, they're playing the Saints. Then after that, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Patriots. I mean, the Colts.
Patriots
and
twice.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's another thing. Wait, that's another thing. They haven't even played the Patriots
You
yet.
just said that the Patriots are going to win their division.
No, I know. They can still win it if they beat them. But say that's a huge game for the Bills. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots just once out of the two. That's phenomenal. That puts you in a great spot. And then at Chargers suck. They have a horrible home fan base. I mean, the friggin' stadium holds, 20,000 people? That's nothing. And half the freaking stadium is filled by visitors. What's the other team? Saints? All right,
Saints if they lose that, they're 5-4 now.
Yeah.
Saints is a loss.
Great.
But,
yeah.
but
Chiefs.
The only team that could compete is the Titans. And I don't think they're good. Okay. I think the Bills are much better than the Titans.
The Titans have an easier schedule.
Yeah.
But
who knows? They could drop easily.
Okay, so now that we got the AFC covered, let's move on over to the NFC.
The better conference.
Yep, this is going to be more of an interesting ending to the playoffs. So first in the NFC, everybody's talking about those 8-1 Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly, Caleb. Fly, Eagles, fly.
So I'm going to start it off. Eagles are obviously real. They're running away with the division. I mean, they haven't played the Cowboys yet, so you can't. They look like they're going to win the division, but you can't really say that because they haven't played the Cowboys yet. But they're just looking really good, putting 51 on the Broncos. What do you guys think? They're real or fake?
Yeah, they're the realest team out there right now. They're 8-1. They got Carson Wentz, one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. And you just added Jay Ajayi, a phenomenal running back. And you have a great receiving core, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ernst at tight end, and you got a phenomenal defense. They got the whole package. They're running all cylinders right now. They're winning all the games they're supposed to win. They're on a hot streak. I got them as the realest in the game right now.
Oh, yeah, I agree. The Eagles are pretty real. I believe they'll make the playoffs, but it may change because of the Cowboys that are starting to pick up the pace, and the Eagles are playing the next 5 games. 4 of them are really going to be difficult and a good challenge.
Who are they facing?
Well, they're facing the Cowboys. They're facing after the bye of this week, they're facing the Cowboys. They're facing the Bears, the Seahawks, Rams. So I think, and also facing the Giants. So that may not be too tough, but I believe the Cowboys, they're going to face them twice before the season ends. That could be 2 losses.
Well, if you look at the December 3rd, 10th, and 17th, there are 3 back-to-back away games at Seahawks, at Rams, and at Giants. That's very tough. That's horrible schedule.
But yeah, I still think they'll make the playoffs. They have a good team, and unless they completely lose the rest of the games, I believe they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to destroy the division because they play the Cowboys twice, the Seahawks, Rams, so it's going to be tough, but I think they'll win that division. So the second in the NFC, there's a lot of talk about that division with the Saints, the Falcons, Panthers, and Buccaneers. Right now, the Saints have the second spot in the NFC at 6-2. What do you guys think, real or fake?
I'll be honest, I haven't really seen much of the Saints so far. They're kind of just cruising behind all these good teams like the Eagles. I mean, they're 6-2, which is baffling to me. I had no clue. Drew Brees is really running that team really well. Michael Thomas, great receiver. I just don't see Carolina overtaking them. They do have the same record, but I just don't see them. Oh wait, they're 6-3. Carolina's 6-3. Saints are 6-2. I just don't see Carolina doing that because they just gave away one of their best receivers, and it's very strange to me that they would do that when they have a legitimate chance at the playoffs, and now you take him out and get like a 4th round pick. I don't really get the move there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either. Their best wide receiver gone. When you look at the Panthers' last game against the Falcons, Cam Newton was their leading rusher, or he had I think around 80 yards rushing. And when your QB's running like that, he's not gonna last very long. And they just gave away their best wide receiver. So I see the Saints winning that division because they get the Bills, the Rams, they get the Redskins, the Jets, the Buccaneers, who haven't been playing well. So I think they have some easy games. And they're on a 6-game winning streak. They're looking good. So,
yeah. So I would go with Saints as real right now. They don't really have a division, any division competition there.
Yeah, I second everything they said. I agree with them. The Saints are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to win the division. Nobody in the division is showing like they're showing. I think the Saints are going to end up separating themselves as the season progresses.
All right. So the third best team in the NFC with the same record as the Saints is the Vikings at 6-2. I'll start us off here. I think this is the fakest team out there. I think they're on a 4-game winning streak, but they're beating easy teams. They got Cleveland. They got a win. They're just versing these easy teams, and their quarterback situation I just really don't like. And the team that I have winning that division is the Detroit Lions. They just beat the Packers. The Packers aren't that great, but I see the Lions get the Browns this week. They're just going to gain some momentum. And you just look at Stafford, how well he's playing. They're going to walk away with that division pretty easily, actually.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Vikings, it's scary to be a Vikings fan right now with the QB situation that they have. Case Keenum, not a very good quarterback to lay a whole team on for the playoffs. And now you got Bridgewater coming back, but now, you don't know how he's going to play. It's the quarterback situation's up in the air. It's very risky ending the season like this. I got the Detroit Lions as well. Vikings are fake. Detroit Lions, they got Matthew Stafford, just signed the biggest contract for a quarterback. They really believe in him. They have good receivers in Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and the running game's starting to come together. I just think they will overtake the spot of third in the playoffs right now. Vikings are fake.
Now, do you guys know the Lions record, right?
Yeah.
4-4.
4-4.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings are 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys still believe the Lions will overtake the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that's the case. I think Case Keenum is playing really well, and I think he can keep it up for the rest of the season. They may not win the rest of the games, but I think he can keep them as a top division team. The Lions, they're 4-4, and they've been struggling. Even though Matthew Stafford's a pretty good quarterback, the Lions defense has been struggling, and they did beat Packers, but the Vikings did too, so it's not that big of a deal. I think the Vikings are going to win the division, and the Lions may get a wild card, but the Vikings will definitely win that division.
Okay. So then fourth in the NFC is the Rams at 6-2 also. They're leading their division with the Seahawks in that division as well. What do you guys think? Think the Rams are real?
The Rams are real. Most definitely real. I just don't see the Seahawks overtaking them in the division. Seahawks lose to the Redskins after a horrible showing. They're currently, right now, playing Arizona. I have no clue how they're doing.
15-7 at halftime.
That's not good. They should be blowing out Arizona. Their defense has got to show up for these games if they want to take the division. But the Rams are definitely real. I love Jared Goff. I got Todd Gurley in my fantasy. He gives me 30 a week, almost every single week. They got great receivers in Sammy Watkins. Defense is coming together. LA finally has a team to cheer for and root for. Chargers suck. No one's going to root for the Chargers. The whole city of Los Angeles is just going to bring this team up and make the playoffs, and it's going to be an awesome sight to see.
So you think they're going to hold off the Seahawks for the division lead?
I definitely think so. I don't really see an X factor for the Seahawks. Russ Wilson's playing okay right now. He had that great game against Deshaun Watson. That was phenomenal. It was the best game maybe he's ever had. But like I don't see like a spark in their offense.
They have no running game.
The defense should be much better, I think. The defense should be winning these games for him, and the defense actually lost the game against the Redskins, giving up that long pass to the 1 yard line, and then Redskins ended up scoring. Rams, I don't really see a weakness for them right now. They even beat a good team in the Cowboys, 35-30, which is a team that's coming up right now, and they're 6-2. I just don't see the Seahawks on the rise. I got them Rams as real.
So I also have the Rams as real. Their coach, first season, I would give him Coach of the Year, Sean McVay. He's doing great things with Goff, just re-energizing this team. I think they're going to win the division.
I think the Rams are as fake as they come. The Seahawks are going to end up winning the division. The Rams, if you look at their games, they've had a few maybe lucky games. They played pretty well. The Cowboys game, the Cowboys defense played a terrible game, and they ended up scoring 35 points.
You could say Cowboys were bad at defense, but they could have. And Rams could have a good offense. You don't know.
They had 51 points.
Yeah, they had 51 points against a quitting Giants team.
You only had 13 points against the Giants.
The Giants, because they competed towards the beginning when we played them, but towards the end, they started not to care. You can show it. That's probably why they should figure out their quarterback situation and Ben McAdoo. But anyways, the Rams only beat the 49ers 41-39. So they have games like that. I mean, even though they still won.
Oh, that was
41.
That was Thursday night. So
41.
Anybody could win those games.
41-39. They let the 49ers score 39 points. Come on. I mean, that team's going to start.
They scored more points than the Cowboys did against the 49ers.
The Cowboys scored 41 points. 40.
41.
And then the 49ers scored 10, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 10.
And then the Rams scored one more point.
Yeah, 41. Then they let up 39. So, I mean, the Rams, they've played pretty good. Give them credit. Give credit where credit's due. Jared Goff has played pretty well. But they're 6-2, and the Seahawks, experienced Seahawks that have won a Super Bowl, are 5-3. The Seahawks know what they're doing. Russell Wilson's gonna end up coming clutch towards the end and take them to the playoffs again, like they always do.
Okay, so now moving on to the 5th and 6th spot in the NFC. The 5th spot right now is the 6-3 Carolina Panthers. I'll start this off. I think the Panthers at that spot, 6-3, I think they're fake. They just lost Kelvin Benjamin. Cam Newton is going to have to take this team and lead this team, and he just ran for a lot of yards, so I don't think he could keep that up. And they get Greg Olsen back, but I just don't see him in the 5th wild card, maybe the 6th, but right now just not in that position.
Who would you replace him with?
Right now, I would replace him with the Seahawks because I think the Rams are going to win their division. I think the Seahawks are going to get the 5th spot in the NFC.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. Panthers losing Kelvin Benjamin, it just is. I think it's going to kill their offense. I don't see them going to the wild card spot at 5th. I also have them replaced by the Seahawks, much better team. Hopefully their defense can revive itself and get them back to the Legion of Boom that they once were.
I think the Panthers will end up at least making the playoffs. I think they'll keep that position. If you look at the rest of their games, they're pretty easy. The only tough game they have may be the Vikings, but even them, they're not that tough. They play the Jets, the Saints. The Saints may be also a tough match. They play the Packers. So I think all they would do is win like maybe 3 or 4 more games, and they have themselves guaranteed a spot. Like I said before, Rams are gonna choke their way out. I think the Panthers will keep the wild card spot.
You didn't say that the Rams would choke out. You just said that the Seahawks are going to be better and take away that division. So you don't think the Rams will make the wild card?
I don't think the Rams will make the wild card.
At 6-2, they're just gonna.
I mean, at 6-2, I don't think they'll make the wild card.
Wait, who did you have 5th? Panthers? You said Panthers.
Yeah,
would
Panthers will keep that spot. Seahawks will move up and win the division.
And Rams won't even make the playoffs.
Rams will miss the playoffs.
What about Goff and Gurley?
Goff and Gurley, they've been playing pretty well, but I don't think they'll be able to keep it up as the season progresses.
Who does Carolina have though that could turn their season around after a big loss? And Benjamin, who's going to step up?
Well, Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, Kuechly. They have players there. Even though Benjamin's gone, they have players there. They have some players that can make plays. I think Cam Newton will take the team on his back and make him get a wild card. So.
All right, so now moving to the last spot in the NFC, the 6th spot in the wild card right now is the Dallas Cowboys at 5-3. I'm going to start this off, and I think that the Cowboys are the fakest team right now. Everybody, too many people are buying the hype. The Cowboys are not going to make the playoffs. Ezekiel Elliott is suspended for 6 games, and they have no run game without him. And I'm going to stand by my contract on the refrigerator right now that says before Ezekiel Elliott returns in 6 games, Dak Prescott will double his interception total for the season. That being said, he will throw 4 interceptions in the next 6 games, and they will not have a chance to win the division because they will lose to the Eagles at least once, and they will not make the playoffs because there are other good teams in the NFC. And without Ezekiel Elliott running, Dak Prescott cannot throw the ball.
Yeah, I stand by my contract that's on the fridge as well. As I said in the last podcast or the first podcast, my contract states that the Cowboys won't make the playoffs. That includes the wild card. They will not make the wild card. I have the Cowboys as fake. If they had Elliott, it could possibly be a wild card, but now you don't have a run game right now. You just can't put all your eggs in Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden, players who have had great rushing seasons 2 years ago, and they're not getting the consistency that they should be getting. I would replace them right now with the Vikings at the end of the season. At 6-2, they won't blow it entirely, but they will make the playoffs as the last wild card spot. So Cowboys fake.
Jonathan, you think the Cowboys are fake, right?
The Cowboys are as real as they come. Let me tell you why. Like I said last week, Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden had over 1,000 yards rushing season in the past.
In the past.
And the past 2 seasons.
Darren McFadden is listed as the 3rd running back on the depth chart.
Yeah, but the way they're going to do it is they're going to do a committee, which is they're all going to rotate Rod Smith, Darren McFadden, Alfred Morris. And according to the coaches, they said they've been doing pretty well in practice while they're doing
they're not going to say they're doing horrible.
So it comes.
Why would they say that?
I think Zeke's a really good player, but it's the offensive line. The offensive line is good. Anybody can run behind the line.
You said that they played bad against the Broncos. So they have good and bad games. So could, if you lose 2 more, if the line has 2 more bad games, you won't make the playoffs.
It was the beginning of the season. They're still trying to get things figured out. I believe with Dak, people keep on forgetting, we have Dak Prescott. He's played his best. Been the best quarterback in the first 24 games, and rather than Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, he's played the best out of all those quarterbacks. So we have Dak Prescott. I think this opportunity will give Dak more reason to show why he's the best.
Brady and Rodgers didn't have the best running back in the league when they in their first 24 games, and the best line. Well, Prescott's only good because of his line, because of Elliott, because he has Witten, and because he has Bryant. He has he hasn't completed more than.
I think with Zeke out, it'll give Dak more reason to show why he's really good. He's MVP material.
Oh, he better show up.
And not only that, our defense is playing better and better every game. So all Dak has to do is put some points on the board. Dak can do that. So our defense is playing better and better every game. So shut defenses out, put some points on the board, have running backs rotate and do pretty good. I don't think Zeke suspension should be a problem. We're going to make the playoffs. We may even win the division if Eagles start to lose some games and we win. If we win the next 2, Eagles lose the next 2, we're tied. Hey, I believe it can happen. And I believe the Cowboys will definitely make the playoffs. at worst case scenario, wild card.
So you're not worried about you said the Rams aren't going to make the playoffs.
Right.
You think that Seattle's going to come in.
Uh-huh.
You think that the Vikings are going to stay in, but Detroit's close. The Falcons are 4-4. The Lions are 4-4. You don't feel threatened by any of those teams.
I've watched all those teams. I don't feel threatened by any of them. Falcons, they're not playing pretty well this season. If you look at Julio Jones, look what he did last week. He dropped a wide open catch. The Lions just not in it this season. Falcons, I'm not worried about them. The Vikings, of course, I'm not worried about them. Small little Case Keenum, I'm not worried. We have Dak Prescott.
You said that the Vikings are going to win their division.
They're going to win their division, but
You just said you're not worried about small Case Keenum. What does that mean?
Because their divisions.
Is he small or something?
He's not, in terms of stats, small Case Keenum. Dak Prescott's big. We do big things in Dallas. In Case Keenum, he hasn't really done big things. So, in terms of Case Keenum, I'm not really worried about them. They're going to win their division probably. Their division's not that tough. Our division's pretty difficult, but I believe Dak can rise to the challenge. The Eagles, like I said, if they lose the next 2 games and Cowboys win the next 2 games, there you go. We have it tied, and I believe it can happen. We only played 8 games. Eagles have played 9 games. So I believe Cowboys will make the playoffs. I don't feel threatened by any other teams. Packers don't have a chance. No other teams have a chance. I think the Cowboys will make the playoffs for sure.
Can you say that again? Are Cowboys real or fake?
Cowboys are as real as they come.
All right, that's all I need to hear.
All right, so now it's time for our lock and upset. Okay, so I'll start it off. It's an easy week for me. In my lock, I got Detroit at home against Cleveland. Not just because it's the Browns, but because the Lions are just playing so well. So I think that the Lions are just going to keep rolling. They just beat the Packers. They're playing at home, and they're going to definitely beat the Browns. And then in my upset, I have the Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers. The Bears at 3-5 and the Packers at 4-4. I think Chicago coming off a bye at home against Brett Hundley. I think that's going to be an upset win.
For my upset, I have the 49ers over the Giants. Like I said, the Giants don't care about anything anymore. The 49ers, I'm not sure. Garoppolo may be playing, and with him in, I believe he's going to show how great he is behind. When he was behind Tom Brady, he learned a lot of things. I believe he's going to show that in this game. I believe the 49ers will beat the Giants. That's my upset. For my lock, I believe the Patriots will demolish the Broncos. The Broncos haven't been playing well. They put Osweiler in, and even last game he played really bad. Simeon's played bad. I think the Broncos won't be able to put that much points on. Patriots will demolish them. I think that's an easy lock. So, Patriots over Broncos, 49ers over Giants.
Okie dokie. My lock, Steelers over Colts. Steelers, I have them as the realest team in the game right now in the AFC. Because I said the Eagles are the realest. I had to save myself. In the AFC, they're just unbeatable. Colts are they had a good game last week with Brissett throwing for 300 yards, but that won't hold against the Steelers. My upset, Jonathan, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this at all, not one bit. So Dallas is going into Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
They're losing an MVP candidate last year in Ezekiel Elliott, and replacing it with Alfred Morris and maybe
McFadden and
Darren
Ross
McFadden.
I
Names I haven't heard in 3 years.
You'll remember him after the game.
Let's hope.
I think that Jared might go 2-0 again this week.
Yeah, so I went 2-0. My overall record is 3-1.
Yeah, and me and Jonathan are 2-2 through 2 weeks.
So I got the best record so far.
I believe Jared's gonna be disappointed after this weekend.
I haven't said my thoughts yet. Hold back. Yeah. So you it's hard to replace an MVP in candidate in Ezekiel Elliott with players like Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden, who who haven't done anything in the last 3 years. I think Dak, I haven't seen it yet. Dak has to take the team on his shoulders right now. If he makes even a little mistake, he's got to play perfect throughout the season now, because you cannot rely on this run game now. It is all on him. Currently, Dak has the best QBR rating, and he's proved that he is good under pressure without throwing. He's got the least interceptions through 24 games of anybody, which is phenomenal. But he did have that rushing game, and defenses did respect that rushing game. Now, without Ezekiel Elliott, now they know they're going to pass more than rush, and defenses are going to adjust, and now you're going to really see who Dak Prescott is in these 6 games that Elliott is suspended. You're going to see if he is an elite quarterback or if he is just an average quarterback. I have Falcons in Atlanta as my upset.
I believe that's ridiculous, and Matt Ryan is struggling, and with the Cowboys defense getting better, we're going to shut down the Falcons. I believe that our running back committee will make up for Zeke's absence, and I believe the Cowboys will easily beat the Falcons. Falcons aren't as good as they were last year.
You said it was ridiculous that I picked the Jets over the Bills, so I'm pretty confident so far.
Well, to be honest, the Jets and the Bills both suck. The Bills, like I said, they're going to choke their 5-2 lead.
Just a couple weeks, just like last week or the week before, you said the Bills are going to make the playoffs.
I don't remember saying that. I don't recall that.
Well, you said that the Bills are a good team, and now you think that, they just suck. But Jets and Bills suck.
Yeah, remember you said they would demolish the Jets, and when we were talking about lock and upset, and then I said, the Jets are going to beat them, and you're like, what? Did he just say that? That's crazy. So, I mean, anything could happen right now. Atlanta could spark. They have great players. Anybody could have a great game right now. Julio's one of the best wide receivers in the game.
Yeah, the guy that dropped the pass that could have won him the game last week. He's a pretty good player, but come on, the Cowboys.
Okay, wait a second.
What is this? These words, pretty good receiver.
He's top 2 in the NFL
right now with Odell Beckham injured.
He's pretty great talent.
What does pretty great mean? Is he top 3?
He's good talent, but you got to win your team some games, bro.
Dude,
he had an opportunity last week.
Wait, hang on. I want to say something. So, would you take Dez over Julio right now? No, you wouldn't.
Well, yeah, because Dez is hurt right now.
Oh, wait, but he dropped a pass in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he dropped a pass to win him the game.
Julio Jones didn't practice today. They're both injured. So, who would you take?
Well, they're both injured, so I wouldn't take either of them.
Come on, make a decision. Who would you rather have as your receiver this week, Dez or Julio?
I'm saying that doesn't matter. I'm saying the Cowboys. It doesn't matter.
You just said that the injury because Julio or because Dez is injured, you would take Julio.
Well,
so now you're saying injuries don't matter.
Well, it's different for the Falcons. They have good receivers all over the place. Taylor Gabriel,
you have
Muhammad
Terrence Williams, Jason Witten.
Jason Witten's
name
old.
the Atlanta tight end. You don't even know.
Well,
so Witten's much better.
They have a good receiving core. Taylor Gabriel, Muhammad Sanu, Julio Jones. So, and Devontae Freeman is running back. They have a pretty good offense, but they're not able to put things together, and I think the Cowboys defense will show them out.
Yeah, I also forgot one thing that I wrote down is that Dez is questionable for the game, and if he ends up not playing and he's out, that's a big loss for them.
No, it's not.
Offensively. Of course it is. Dez is the safest option next to Witten right now in your wide receiving core.
Cole Beasley? Have you forgotten about Cole Beasley?
Literally probably yesterday, you said that Dez was in his prime.
I never said he's in his prime.
Yes, you have.
Dude.
You've said it multiple
You've said
times.
It multiple times. Well, Dez Bryant in his prime.
So
and we're why isn't he catching passes?
You take a veteran wide receiver out like Dez Bryant, who's he's a great wide receiver. I mean, historically, he's great.
Teams double team him, so that opens up other options for other people. So if Dez isn't there to double team, then the defenses could go to other people, and you won't have.
And it's going to be harder for Dak.
Yeah.
Well, we have more options. If they're not double teaming his position or his backup, we have more options. We can throw to that person more often, and I think we'll have more options. Dak will have more options. Dak will play a better game.
Well, Terrence Williams hurt his knee the last game, so he might be a little.
He might not be 100%.
I don't think that'll be a problem. Dak will find a way. Dak can run. Dak can throw. And with our running back committee, all three rotating in, I believe we have good opportunity.
See, with Zeke there, you could afford to lose a couple wide receivers.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have a good offensive line. Any average running back can run behind that line. Let me tell you.
But your line has bad games. They played bad against the Broncos.
But every running back that started in the past 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 years, they've had over 1,000 yards. Every running back.
Wait, but you're taking away from Elliott, though. Elliott is the best, if not
he's good.
top 5 in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You can't take away from Elliott. You take that away, now who do you have? It's all right now. It's a guessing game for all of us. We have no clue how they're gonna do.
I'm saying it now, and it's gonna happen. I'm gonna speak it into existence, just like I did with the Cowboys and the Chiefs.
What's gonna happen?
The Cowboys running backs are going to play really well.
What does we really
mean?
I
want numbers.
We need how many rushing yards?
All three of them combined least are gonna have over 100 yards.
Okay, so if they have over 100, you think they're gonna have over 100 yards in every game that Zeke isn't there? All three of them combined.
Right.
Not including Dak Prescott.
I don't know about every game, but most games. This against the Falcons.
So
against the Falcons.
5 out of
6? Week. Yes, starting this week against the
Falcons.
So
5 out of 6 games, the 3 running backs combined will have over 100 yards.
Let's start for this week. I believe this week it'll happen.
Oh, so if they just this week. So the rest of the other 5, they won't get 100 yards.
We'll see how it works because we haven't seen them. But I'm telling you, I think it can happen, and it's going to happen this week.
Yeah, right now it's tough to pick the Cowboys because of the amount of questions that they have past mid-season, and plus with their record 5-3, they can't afford going into their hardest part of their schedule to lose an Ezekiel Elliott, to lose a Dez Bryant, to lose a Tyrell Williams. That's very scary. Heading into the hardest part of your schedule. It's going to be very tough. Okay, guys, that wraps up episode 3 of the Dorm Debate podcast. We are heading into week 10 of the NFL season. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like this, please leave a like. And we will see you guys in episode 4 of the Dorm Debate podcast coming out next week on Wednesday. So look out for that. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will catch you guys in the next one.